live.
Wait, Ghost, do you need access? I can give you access.
I literally said that
Oh.
5 minutes ago.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to get my fucking.
Jesus.
I was trying to get to my car so I can.
Holy. Okay.
Jesus.
Okay,
What is
I'm
There
this?
we
going
go.
to adjust.
You have to find it now.
Week 1 stats B. Ooh, look at my stats.
Not that. I haven't done the B stats yet.
I love to see it.
Just A. I fucking
Okay.
forgot to. A B was too much pain.
Wow. Good to know. Again, I'll make sure I don't vote for you for any awards this season.
Buddy, you think I'm gunning for any awards? My best things are fucking Survivor, community power rankings, and this shit. I'm
I
not gunning
I
for it.
honestly I don't care if you're gunning for it or not. I'm not voting for you.
I don't think I think you're just really mean today, and I think
Well,
I'm gonna let you be mean so you can get it all the way out of your system.
okay.
I think that we
Here,
should start doing the
We
recaps
should do
from
some
week one.
recaps because I'm
But
oh,
that's
pumped
just
and I'm
me.
we're
ready to do that.
we haven't even done the intro.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Spike and Spike. Maybe I won't be lazy and I'll actually edit that first bit out, but probably I'll just upload everything directly from the download. Um, so week one happened, and we're gonna talk about that.
Week 1 was a week, that's for
It
sure.
it was quite a week. We
Out of
had
all the weeks, this
some
was a week.
surprises, some not so surprises, and I got more wins than I had last season, so that was nice.
He's done it. He's done it. He's doubled his win total in
Upgrades,
1 week.
people. Upgrades.
Well, we'll start with the Land Before Timers versus Miami Dolphins A-team game. Uh, this was not close, and I think it more showed that Miami is good rather than LBT being bad, but that'll remain to be seen as LBT plays other teams. But Miami did not seem to have any struggles with their two no mics playing at the same time. They kept solid D the whole throughout the whole game, only giving up two caps on Willow and then giving up a few more on Moonbase, but it's harder to keep people in base on Moonbase. But still doubling LBT score there, 16-8. I mean, it's a rough start for LBT. I think they still can turn it around, and Miami is looking quite good.
I agree with that. I think
I
Miami is one
won.
of the better
Okay.
teams. Oh, you go
Wow.
ahead, Active. Go for it. It's all you,
Alright.
buddy.
Because I watched the games and I watched the VOD, and my initial thoughts were that Miami were definitely beatable, especially the first half of Willow, where the
Hmm.
score was just 2-1 in favor of them. Because I felt like Tinder and PK were actually like getting somewhere, and Chucky and Bergie were actually like returning both Juju's and Squid. And then the second half, it kind of went off the rails after a couple of caps by Miami. So the big score line, I think the score, I don't even remember what the score was for Willow 2, but it just felt over as soon as Miami got like up to a 3 cap lead in half two again. And then LBT just snowballed. Then Moonbase, LBT couldn't keep up with the pace of Miami. Miami just kept grabbing and getting out. They could never get reset. And the story of the game for me was that LBT, if they didn't grab so much on OD or spike as much as they did, I think they would have been like they would have been in it in the second half of Willow, and Moonbase they were just off all the time. So Miami's good. LBT is not as bad as the score suggests. They just need to work on a couple of things.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was their OD, and also I don't think they played anti very much, or at least not very effectively from what I saw. I think I only watched 1 or 2 halves, but it seemed like um, Miami kind of got on a roll where they were just grabbing and capping and grabbing and capping, um, and LBT was never able to like play good OD to where they can get a reset or play anti, while they did that. It seemed like they kind of just kept grabbing and then running back to base and then grabbing and like that eternal cycle of dying on OD with the flag. I just felt like they couldn't stop grabbing. So I think if they fix that, they'll be better. But we'll see going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Miami's definitely beatable, and if you want to see evidence of that, tune in on Thursday, where my B team will be taking on Miami and definitely winning.
Say Thursday?
It's Thursday for
Thursday.
the NALTP
Oh,
Cup.
yeah, that cup thing.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
forgot about that cup thing. Whoops.
I think
My B team's
everybody
taking on their
forgot
A
about the cup
team.
thing.
You know, it'll be a good match.
We're not in
Oh,
it.
yeah, I know we're
Ghost,
not in
we're
it.
not in it.
I know. I didn't sign up because
I-
that's another day of commitment. I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, commitment.
Barely
So-
show up as it is. You know that.
We
And
had,
it makes Bert so mad.
we had
It's
Pinkfield
hilarious.
Isotopes versus Legends of the Splitting Temple, second A team matchup. This one was also a sweep, but it was much closer. 2-cap win in game 1 and 1-cap win in game 1, 2-cap win in game 2. I mean, both of these teams looked good. Both times the Isotopes take a pretty solid lead in the first half, and then LST comes back a little bit, but not quite enough in the second half. I mean, it will be interesting to see them as they continue to play, but I think these are both two solid teams that end up being solid playoff teams, but not like I don't think the Isotopes are going to stay right at the top of the table. I don't think that LST is going to struggle. I think they're both middle of the pack teams.
I don't know. I think I like the Isotopes, and I think that they played well. But I also don't think that they're like a top tier team. I agree with the Isotopes that they're kind of a middle of the pack team. But I mean, I like everyone on the Split and Temple roster, but I just don't see a standout on that team. It's like a bunch of, kind of average, I guess, A teamers, or even some B team, B team going to A team. So I think if they can kind of work on chemistry and get somebody to where, some of those B teamers becoming A teamers up to like a more of an A team level, I think they'll be fine. But if they stay where they're at, I don't see them being a playoff team.
Yeah, it's looking at all the metrics, if I may be statistical, whatever you call it, statistically, yeah, whatever. The metrics are pretty similar between both teams in this matchup. Isotopes and LST kind of had the same. Yeah, LST actually felt to me like they had the better defense coming off. They had more prevent. They had more returns. The pups itself, they're not really different in terms of like TP distribution or anything. Like they're both around the average. At this point, it was just basically about which team had capitalized better on their chances. Isotopes did that. I really do like the offense of Cat Buchanan Cruel. I don't like my worries about the LSD defense were kind of shown, especially on Moonbase. The defense for Isotopes is a worrying issue for me, just because I've never really been high on either of them, on either Ralph Wiggum or El Sacco. But they did put in a respectable effort. Rig did not have a good week. Like, his stats are not that great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just a one-time thing or if that maybe a sign of things to come. Because while Catbuke and King Cruel are decent offense, I don't think they're the best. I think they're kind of like top 6.
I mean,
top
for me,
5.
I think it's the Isotopes end up being a team where if they play smart, if they are scrimming and reviewing their VODs and game planning and figuring out their opponent's weaknesses and stuff like that, they are smart enough to take advantage of their talent level and do well. LST, I think it's more of a hit or miss where they've got some potential there. Nobody's like really fully like come out and led a team yet, so we'll see how that happens. But I don't see them falling to the bottom of the table either.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I meant by they don't really have a standout player. Is they
Yeah,
don't have like, someone who is known to be dominant. And I don't think that's true of the Isotopes either, but they're all like, you know, proven players, whereas um, LST kind of doesn't. But I also think that LST's success is going to depend on how Rig plays. I think if Rig plays well, that team can do really really good and have a really high ceiling. Um, but if he does not play well, it's not looking good.
yeah. All right, then we had Manipulation Station versus Super Monkey Balls in a very close match. Split 1 point each game. Um, I mean, it kind of seemed like both teams were were showing some potential and just struggling opposite of each other. Like it seemed like Prime and Big Brother had like moments where they looked really good, but also moments where they were just struggling to get out for a while, and it looked like two players coming up from B team and struggling against an A team defense. But then that also went the other way a little bit. I will say Carl with a K seems like he's pretty solid and not very washed, which is good to see. But he is also definitely the best player on that team from what I saw of that game. But that said, I think both these teams kind of a similar situation. They've got some things that they know they need to work on now, and it'll be interesting to see as they continue to play whether they do improve or whether they just kind of fizzle out.
It's I think, looking at the EU, you had Super Monkey Balls having like a 5 cap lead going into like the second half, like halfway through the second half of Moonbase, and then they threw it like badly. So this probably should have been a sweep for them. And looking at the stats itself, Irony, solid offender, Gleg, a good debut as an A-team defender, managed to stifle Big Brother Prime. Carl with the K, like you said, is not as washed. He's pretty decent. I think they'll get better over the course of the season. I think by maybe week 4, week 5, they'll be like a top team that I think we've come to expect from Dusk as a captain. Uh, Blackberry did not have the best weeks. She was definitely like not good. Uh, you can maybe say that she kind of brought the team down a bit, and that's why Graham made a trade in order to find another second offender for A. And I think now with Jerry and Irony together, I think that offense definitely has a lot more like oomph to them, and the defense should be able to have an easier time because if the offense is always out, then the defense doesn't have to really. They just have to work on blocks and blocking OD and all that stuff. I think this week Super Monkey Balls came out looking better than Manipulation Station, even though it was a split. But at the same time, Manipulation Station did really well to come back. So some question marks were answered, some more questions were popped up. But in the end, I think both of these teams showed that they aren't garbage. They're just mediocre
That's one way to
as
put
of
it.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that it is something that Dusk has shown season after season that he's good at getting those players and developing them to play at an A-team level, even if at the beginning of the season they are struggling a little bit, showing their uh, lack of A-team experience. That they improve drastically throughout the season, and he tends to have a solid team together. He's got Carl as that building block there, and then if he can pull Unit up, get Big Brother and Prime uh, just a little bit of development in there, then that can be a pretty good team moving towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I think those are both. I wouldn't say top tier teams, but they're definitely both playoff teams that are gonna have a run. Um, have a shot at like upsetting some of the actual top teams uh, further down in the season. I don't think they're there yet, but like most teams, I think with scrims and time going forward, they'll be a lot better than some of the other teams.
All right, so then we had Bank of America apps versus the question marks team. Bank of America apps getting a solid sweep, not a runaway. It was definitely close at times. Really strong first half on Moonbase kind of put that one away, but uh, all of the other halves, we the question marks were really playing with us the whole time. I do think I'm pretty confident in Bank of America apps moving forward. What I took away from that was that Breezy can definitely play support ball to Zeus on A team. He is definitely ready for that, and he looked good doing that. Zeus looked good doing what he does, grabbing and getting caps. And Sonder is just a fantastic carry ball on D with making playing some very nice support there. Um, the question marks look like they had
Yeah.
a couple things to work on. Um, their offensive chemistry seemed just kind of not quite there, and I mean their defense played pretty well most of the time. Just a couple lapses of judgment here and there, but their offense needs a little bit to work on. I mean, they mostly looked okay as individuals, but they just weren't working well together.
I agree with that. It seemed like there was a lot of solo grabs or like not communicated grabs that obviously led to flacids and bad grabs, and then that obviously never holds up, through four halves. But yeah, I feel like they need to work on some communication and like working together to get good grabs instead of trying to force things, which is what I think they did a lot of.
Yeah. What's weird is that the question marks have the second lowest flaccid per grab ratio. And like looking at stats, they weren't bad. It's just more like I feel like they underperformed for what I thought they would. Broscope in particular, I feel like he didn't perform up to the level that I expected him to perform. Bold Roller, solid offender. His O partner leaves something to be desired. Circle moved up. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great. Just there. Laser
Yeah.
Pig made. I don't.
I
It's
mean,
a difficult decision, either
yeah,
Circle or
it would be
Laser
interesting
Pig.
to see if maybe in scrims if they try shaking things up, maybe put bold with laser or with J24 and see if something else works, or just keep working on the chemistry there, because I mean bold put together a solid individual week with 8 caps, but yeah,
Yeah.
Circly was had a rough week. Um, yeah, I think they've got the workings of a good team. I didn't think Broscope played that badly, but it was I think Nipplepotamus is good two-way ball, and I think he felt drawn to go O a little bit sometimes, just with the offense struggling, and then I think that led to situations where Broscope had to try to lock it down all on his own, and that's just not going to happen.
Kudos to Bank of America though. I did really think Sonder was like really good. He was like high on my defense list as like a top three defender. Him and Macon Bacon, solid offensive output as well. He had a couple of caps. He had like 4 caps on like 23 grabs, which is solid. Zeus always grabby, but he wasn't as the most grabby this week, but it doesn't matter. But he's still grabby, still good. Breezes, solid to Porto. Uh, I had this team like in the middle of the pack, and I think with this performance, they showed that they could move up like that list of mine. They're second. I think they're like third place in the standing because they're 2-0. They play. Who did they play today? Then they play the Isotopes. No,
We
I don't remember.
play.
I think it's Isotopes.
Yeah, we play Isotopes this week.
It'll be an interesting battle to see which offense comes out on top and which defense stymies the other one's offense. But I'll get to that in the preview section.
Yep. So moving on, we have your matchup active with BCC playing We the People. From what I saw, it did seem like BCC is a pretty solid team there. Y'all played well. But it also seemed like We the People was a bit of a mess, and like Herb did not play up to expectations. Everything else was also falling apart around him, and it was just, they don't look good.
Yeah, it just I didn't expect it. I didn't expect the Jerry Randy offense to be like that, like stopped that easily. Randy, in my opinion, was way too grabby for my liking. The team itself had the highest flaccid per grab ratio at 0.446. So like they almost flaccided 5 times per every 10 grabs, which is not ideal.
Insane. Yeah.
Not ideal in any way, shape, or form. Like they had 200 grabs, so that's like 100 flacids.
I think at least, you know, a lot of those probably were
Yeah,
a little tilt induced, but
yeah, very tilt
yeah,
induced.
there was a point in the games where yeah, they were just straight up grabbing because they could, and like for
Yeah, it's
for no
just
reason.
Yeah,
it's not an ideal situation. They were down 13 to nothing in half one at Moonbase with like in 4 minutes to go in the half. So I assume they just gave up at that point and just decided, screw it, we're just gonna try and go for dank plays. But on Willow first half, we were tied 2-2. Uh, the caps that we let up in that half, I'm not gonna talk about because there's no top plays, so no one's gonna ever find out how they got those two caps, which is good.
I'll work them into into the podcast next week.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
But then second
Basically,
half of
active bad.
Willow, yeah, active bad. Second, uh, it's just they were not as good as I thought they were. No one thought they would be this bad. Everyone had them maybe consensus two, top three. Smalley was like the one of the few people who were like, I don't know. This team's not that good. I think we kind of fell in love with the Jerry Randy offense a little bit and kind of forgot about the defense
Well,
not
I
being
think
up
it
to
was that. I
snuff.
think people thought Herb was going to be better than he was. I think people didn't realize how
Yeah,
washed he was. Because if he keeps coming back
he's not
from,
even that washed. It's just that I don't know. It's just I don't know how to explain it. They weren't bad. I think Drift was the better defender out of the
I
two,
would agree with that.
which means that it's just maybe we gave him too little TCs. Give him 65. Probably should have given him more.
Yeah, it
If
is
we had
hard to
known
tell
about
though
that.
when he's coming back. He's only played at that point like with 3 games on TPM or something, and so there's
Yeah.
like all you can see is the profile where he's got, pretty solid stats in like
I
minors
mean,
season 20, decent minor stats, not like amazing, but he's putting up decent minor stats, and then he's coming back and you're like, oh, it hasn't been that long, surely he's he's okay. And maybe he does maybe he pulls his game together a little bit, maybe they can figure something out, but it did look very rough week 1.
Yeah.
And who knows,
I
maybe you
wasn't
guys
very
just are
high.
that good.
No,
nah,
no, I don't think so.
no.
I don't think either of those teams is like that good. I wasn't very high on With the People, to be honest with you. Uh, like it's a good lineup, but I don't think they work well together, which is on a team one of the more important aspects of making a far push. But I don't think BCC was as good as they came off as either. I think they definitely both teams had mistakes that they can improve on.
Oh yeah,
But I think
definitely.
to improve on.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's why Homie made the trade, trading away Jerry for FUCK. Uh, so now it's going to be FU and Randy on offense. I'm assuming for A team. Could work, I guess. Not as it's kind of a downgrade in my opinion. But who knows? You got to shake things up after being beaten that badly, to be honest. And for BCC, we play Miami tonight. If you want to show that we're not just a fluke and we played a bad team, this is the perfect chance to do
Yeah,
it.
this is the real test for BCC. If you come out of this either a split or a win, then that's a very big statement of we're here
Or
for
just
real.
two really close, or just two really close losses. I mean,
I mean, if it's
one
in
could
my
have two.
opinion, if it's two close losses, then that puts you about where I expected, which is like upper half. But if you can pull off some wins, if you pull off even one win, then that's a statement that
Yeah,
you're here at the top. All right, so then we got the last game of the
some
week,
Poodle did
the
well.
handoff god versus the Krusty Grabs. Um, Another split, but each team taking a pretty solid win on the map that they won. Handoff God winning Willow 9-5, and then Krusty Grabs winning Moonbase 10-3. I mean, it seemed like just each team knew how to play their map and did not
Yeah,
do well on the other map. Uh,
it it seems like uh the map fit the play style of the team that won. Maradona and Ginseng are solid defense, so that's why they kind of did well in Willow too. Meanwhile, Flaccid and Overkill are very grabby and very jukey, and that's how they managed to handle Moonbase. You can maybe see here that Krusty Grabs favors the more fast-paced maps, and then Handoff God kind of prefers the more defensive maps where Ginseng and Maradona can get themselves settled in. J-Swan for the Handoff God was very good in his A-team debut. He was the best offender on the tiles for Handoff God. Overkill showed that he deserved to be on A-team. He was a highly coveted sleeper pick, and he did well. He paired well with Flaccid Trip and showed that in the Krusty Grabs game, in the Moonbase game. Fuck. But the defenses, I thought Anthony Davis and Kurt Ferguson would be better on Willow. I thought that defense would be definitely like decent enough where I could think they can maybe keep the flag in base for multiple minutes at a time. Didn't really work out like that. I think Jay Swan and Ed did really well to get out. It's a little worrying for me, considering we play on Pine and Neon today, and I don't know if those maps are necessarily defensive or fast paced, but they're definitely not as fast paced as Moonbase. So that might be a little issue for me. For the Handoff God, they kind of fell apart in Moonbase. They kind of gave up some stupid grabs, kind of gave up some stupid caps. Uh, it's a it's a thing to work on for them. But in the end, I think both teams showcased their strengths and also highlighted their weaknesses with the split.
yeah, I do think for me for the handoff god, Ed seemed a little bit rough at times. Just I don't know. I mean, I know he's gone back and forth between O and D in most seasons, and it hurt a lot of people saying that they were happy to see him going back on O, but he didn't play that well throughout the entire night. He had moments where he looked good, but Jay Swan looked like the better offender there, and I don't know. Maybe that's something that they look
It,
into, but maybe not.
yeah, could have a lineup fix, but I think they should be happy with what they did that week.
Yeah, I think both teams performed decently well. I think they just have to, again, kind of stick with it and focus on fixing mistakes, and they should honestly both be okay. Neither team's 0-2, so that's good.
Yeah.
They have something going for them. Glimmer of hope.
Now, moving on to B team, we have Handoff God versus Krusty Grab's B team. Handoff God taking 2 out of 3. Uh, Mostly close games. Moonbase was a little bit more of a runaway, but that is a common thing to see on Moonbase. It's harder to say anything definitive with the lineup changes, but I think both of these teams looked like they can play well. But Handoff God looked a little bit stronger all the way through, whereas Krusty Grabs looked like they maybe had a couple lineups that worked significantly better than the other ones.
I think that's usually how the first couple weeks of B team goes. Is the team with the better rotation generally wins more games, and it honestly doesn't usually come down to the team with the better players. It's straight up the team that puts like the best combination of players together for the most halves wins the most halves. And you can have some all-star B team person in with some not all-star B team people in and still lose the half. So I think B team is mostly about generating chemistry between the lineups that your captain decides to put forward. So I think going forward, like I think I don't know. I don't know. I think both teams are going to be fine. They just have to work on, again, playing with who they're playing with their lineups, and maybe they do some roster swaps or not roster swaps, but lineup swaps for different halves, like play different combinations in different halves and try that out. But again, I think going forward, that's what they work on.
Yeah, and I also do think the Krusty Grabs have a couple of newer players, if I'm remembering correctly, and like Corinth, XYZs, and Hibana, all newer players that I think have a lot of potential, but are still relatively raw at this point. XYZ's coming off of a season with Manipulation Station, which is always good for your development. I know Corinth had great mechs with us last season, even though we didn't have a very successful season, and then Hibana's showed some promise in the TPM games I played with them. So I think they're a team that shows potential for a lot of growth, but a little bit more rough right now at the beginning of the season. Then we've got We the People versus Bohemian Capacity on B team, where BCC became the only team to go undefeated on both A and B. And it looked like it was, for the most part, not that close. Moonbase was a little bit close. That was the only game where you guys lost a half. And that was not what We the People wanted to see after having suffered a defeat on A team that badly. You would hope that they could show something on B, and then they did not.
Yeah. Again, I think it just boils down to rotations. I think we just honestly had better rotations in at certain halves, and that's what did it. But I honestly I don't think they played bad. They played when they had their like top four in, they were a decent team and kept it close. But yeah, I think once the rotations kicked in, they fell off, and we did not fall off as much.
Yeah. The main thing that I like about our B team is that it's deep. It's pretty deep. Like, I don't think any player is like depth, you can say. I think they all could start on a B team if they were given the opportunity. And so that really helps us with rotation. So where other teams might struggle with that depth, we wouldn't really struggle with that. But putting in other players, feels like in kept. They did pretty well on offense. Ghost, Gilly, Bert, Ducky, Jared 32, all decent players.
And then
I don't like them all, to be honest. I don't like two of those players. Can you guess which ones?
I have some guesses, but I'm not gonna say them right now.
No.
Um,
Please guess.
but then we the people responding to this week with the aforementioned trade of Jerry and Choco to Super Monkey Balls for uh, FU and Gospel of Juke, and then Gospel of Juke sent away for Prow Prow.
Yeah, it's a weird
I
trade
think
because for
it
me, I
is.
felt like their issue wasn't defense. I think their issue was offense more
I
like.
think the move here that they were making was more of trying to fix the A team chemistry issues and trying to just get another more experienced player on B team. And I mean, we'll see if it works out. I don't think it's going to help them a ton, but I I don't fault them for feeling like they wanted to try making a move right away after that rather than trying to wait it out.
But yeah, that B team now has a decent trio of defenders with Clue, Wheelan, and Prow. Then you have Ice, Arrow, and Not Trying. Not Trying was pretty good against uh us that week. He wasn't that bad. He's pretty good. I think Arrow Not Trying would be a better offense than Ice Splat and Arrow, in my honest opinion. I think Not Trying brings more juke ability, or like at least more juking than Ice Splat does.
Yeah, either way, we'll get
So
to see
it's
them.
interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll get to see them tomorrow, and I think
They play
they'll do
Super Monkey
okay.
Balls. They play the team they traded with.
Ooh, that'll
They
be
play the team they traded it.
an interesting matchup. We'll see if Choco can use that as motivation to go and get his old team.
Yep.
And then we had Bank of Americaps versus the question marks on B team. We ended up taking 2 out of 3, but they were all good close games. I think that question marks is a really good team. The offense that they put up looked really solid. Their defense showed a little bit of lapses here and there. They didn't play poorly. Just I think they had a few more issues than the offense did, and maybe that's why Hilda then traded Prow Prow for Gospel of Juke, maybe thinking that Gospel would fit the team better. But I'm not worried about them. I think they'll have a pretty good season. But I also think that my team is pretty solid through. Kind of the same thing you were saying. We like anybody on our team could probably be thrown in to a B team starting lineup and play pretty well.
It's the Praprite trade doesn't really make sense for me now. Now looking at Praprite's stats, he had 93 Danish. He had the
Yeah.
best like Danish out of all of his teammates. It's it'll be
That's
weird to see if it'll be interesting to see if Gospel of Juke can really take over from
yeah.
that.
That's why I think it was more of a play style trade, looking for somebody who fit the rest of the team more than a just overall skill trade.
It wasn't exactly high on like the Bank of America's B team. I felt like it was basically Green Eggs and Spam minus like Breezes and Wheel and Timmy.
Yeah, see,
So
I've heard that a
it was
lot. I think
pretty good.
what people fail to consider is that one, that team was really good, and then they kind of dropped off a bit after Jelly Rat got traded away. And this has we have the Jelly Rat, and two, I feel like the overall field of B teams this season, especially with rotation, is a little bit weaker than it was last season. So I think even if you take that team, even if you do see both of those changes as downgrades, I think it's still a very good team for this season.
But yeah, good 2 wins against them. Uh, you play Isotopes today.
Yeah. Well,
It'll be interesting after Isotopes actually took 2 out of 3 against LSD, but we'll get to that later.
Yep. But right before that, we've got Manipulation Station versus Super Monkey Balls. Oh, also, quickly before we move on, I am supposed to amend my mistake. Last week, I forgot that Sergeant Ducky was on the question marks because there was something happening with the sheet at the time that I was looking at it, and I was just reading from it. So shout out to Ducky. He had a great week. Good player who actually definitely is on that roster there. So then we had Manipulation Station versus Super Monkey Balls. Monkey Balls taking 2 out of 3. First game was a pretty solid win for them, 10-2. I think it seemed like Atomic Storm really popped off. Got a lot of caps. Played pretty well overall. Just a pretty solid B team performance from them. Then Manipulation Station taking game 2 and keeping it really close in game 3. So I wouldn't be too concerned about either of these teams, especially Manipulation Station always gets better as the season goes on, like we've been saying. Maybe some concern for Super Monkey Balls. They decided to make those trades, but I think they'll still manage to find some success. I think they'll do fine.
Yeah. The Super Monkey Balls B team wasn't really well liked in the community power rankings. Meanwhile, Nip was like celebrated, like really highly rated. I think everyone kind of forgot. They thought maybe the Super Monkey Balls didn't have a defense that was really like worth anything. But you have Inspire, who seems to be returning to season 7.
Oh boy.
Are you? You fucking fell asleep.
Oh.
Well, I mean, what do you expect?
I mean, Active, you've been talking for a while now. I mean, I can't blame him. Anyway, but yeah, no. So yeah, Inspire played well.
That just threw me off. Wait, no, I'm still talking. Wait, I'm trying to get back to my train
Inspire
of thought.
played well. Atomic played well.
Okay.
FU played well.
No.
They're
Let me
basically their whole team played well. It is interesting though with that trade that we talked about earlier. The Gospel of Juke and FU now gone, replaced by probably either Jerry or Black. No, Jerry. Yeah, one of the players dropping down from A team, with Jerry on A team. Yeah, Blackberry dropping down, and then Choco coming in. It's gonna be interesting to see how they play with that. I think their top 4 is still very much capable of getting wins, but it'll be interesting to see how their rotation plays with those changes.
I'm more worried about Manipulation Station. Oh my god.
Anyway.
I'm more worried about Manipulation Station, honestly. Offense and defense weren't. I think ADOG and Logi didn't do as well as I thought they would. And that's a testament to the defense of Super Monkey Balls, which was Inspire, Gospel of Juke, and Jed Bartlett and Robiny. Robiny. Inspire, going back to season 7 form, like peak defensive player. Like he was really good back in season 7. If he's performing as well as that, then this defense has a lead defender, and that's him. Gospel of Juke, he's more better as a support defender. Robiny,
more better.
A Euro.
He does that sometimes. Don't worry about it.
I do that a lot, actually. No one knows about grammar. You know, I used to write for a newspaper. I had someone edit my words for me.
Oh boy.
But fuck, you threw me off again.
Anyway, so we'll move on. We got the Pinkfield Isotopes versus Legend of the Splitting Temple. LST taking 2 out of 3, but they were all nice, good, close games. What you love to see on B team. I mean, both of these teams, they've got some good players. You had P-Chip and Vic for LST on O playing really well. And Lamatron, I think, played pretty well too. You had Homer J and Ferret. Ferret definitely looking like a pretty solid pick after a first week. But yeah, I think both of these teams are good. They played each other close, and I think they'll keep playing well through the rest of the season.
I mean, I'm looking at the isotope lineup. I was worried about the offense, like Ferret and Homer J, but Ferret really showed that he was better than anyone really thought about him to be, with like a 9.610 gas, 98.70 ish. Very solid offense. Even the depth did well. Oink Oink with an 83.1 Danish, which that's pretty solid. You had the Atom one also getting in there, getting involved. A solid 7 player rotation. I forgot about Sorry I Suck, but it's better than what I thought they would be. LST, uh, they struggled a bit. I thought the Victor potato chip offense would be like would take them out easily. But while the stats show they did, I wasn't really impressed with what I saw. Scrapper 8-0, Vocalax, decent rookie. Lamatron and Scrapper seems to be like the prevailing defense. So it's not exactly the best defense that I can think of for a B team, but I think Lamatron should be able to carry that well. Overall, close games. That second half comeback in the second game of Willow was amazing to watch. Especially they came back from like 6 caps and like took it to overtime, but like really well done there. Porps and JH, they're looking like a very solid defensive pairing. I know Porps made a bet that anyone who caps on them 7 times or something and a half gets PayPal money or something. And Victor tried to say, and Victor tried to claim it, but he forgot to DM Porp before the game or something. I want to see if that I want to see where that bet goes.
I'm pretty sure
Hopefully
Bert
it's
is one of the people
hopefully.
that took that bet. I think he was talking about it.
Oh my god,
He was
we
talking.
don't even do we play them? We don't even play them this season.
No, but it's not. Wait, we don't. I think we do.
We don't. We played the other
Oh,
Western team. We played
well.
Lamb Before Timers.
Oh
Oh,
well.
I don't
God,
know.
Bert.
Bert's, he's special, but
Bert, he's special. He's special. He's very, very good at what he does. Very special at what he does.
being special, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so then we
We're
had
not gonna keep this in,
the
are
other
we?
game involving a Western team. We had Miami taking on LBT, and Miami trying to match BCC's feat of being completely undefeated, and they had two really solid wins on Willow, 12-3 and 12-6, but they were not able to pull off the win on Moonbase. LBT having a really strong second half to come back and take that game 10-6. I mean, I think Miami's B team looks pretty strong after that. Aster playing really well. They've just got a solid rotation all the way through. Um, but LBT struggling quite a bit, which I wasn't expecting. I thought they looked like a really solid team. They seemed decent in scrims, but not able to put it together this week.
Yeah, you would think that LBT with 5 players, they would be able to rotate. They would have been able to have a lot of good lineups, but they just didn't. They couldn't get the wins on Willow. And kudos to Burt Reynolds, who I think he changed his name to Fat Booty Dion.
Yep.
That's a fun name, Jay. Fat Booty Dion. Fat Booty Dion. Second Skin, that's a solid defense. Catalyst played a bit of both. Bomb Squad played a bit of both. Logicus played O. That's a solid rotation Jarvis has there. One that I didn't really think would be top tier, but I think they are top tier, especially with Aster, Second Skin, Bomb Squad, iTag Pro. I mean, the Aussie getting in some like decent stats with his minutes. This is a well-rounded team.
Yeah, I mean, I do
I
think
think
that
they'll do pretty well.
having iTag Pro in on Moonbase was probably a little bit of the rough part with like that fast-paced map with that ping. That said, they still won the first half with him in, and they didn't play too poorly in the second half. But LBT got a couple of cap trains in there, especially right at the end, and uh, just were a little bit too much for them to handle. But I think Miami looking like one of the better B teams out there right now.
Yeah, and also shout out to Perpetualist, coming back after a very long break, and playing offense and defense. He was like that two-way ball for them in that five-man rotation, and he did pretty well. He was very solid. 81.8 teenish, 60 ownish and deanish plus and all that. Good comeback for him. Shame it couldn't result in more wins, but still, good comeback from him.
Yeah. All right. So then we've got we've got the previews. Start with A and then go to B again. First matchup of this coming week is LBT versus Manipulation Station. I mean, I think that I'm gonna have to pick Nips to sweep this one. I think that they.
Kind of bold.
I mean, Nips coming off of a split. LBT didn't get a point this past week, but I think that the Nips are going to keep improving, and I think LBT is. I think they're going to look better than they did last week, but I think they're still going to struggle, and I don't think they're going to quite be able to pull it off this week either. So yeah, I'm going to take Nips for the sweep. Active, what you got?
Oh, I'm going off LBT in that first half of Willow, where I felt like they were pretty solid, and like if they can play like that, I think LBT should at least split. I don't think we should downgrade LBT because they badly consensus number one team and lost. Like, I think everyone agrees Miami is a solid team. I'm not gonna hold LBT getting swept against them that heavily. So I think LBT should. I think I'm gonna give LBT split. I think I'm gonna split.
All right, Ghost, you got anything?
What are the teams?
LBT and Manipulation Station, A team.
A team. I think LBT is gonna get swept again.
God, you have no faith.
I don't think that they're. I don't think they're ready.
Yeah.
I think it'll be close, but I don't. I think I'm gonna say if I had to put all my marbles in something, that they're gonna lose by less than 3 caps in both games.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've got Pinkfield Isotopes versus Bank of America Caps. I mean, I really like my A team. I think that Pinkfield is also a pretty solid, smart team. But I got yelled at for not picking us to sweep last week when we did, so I'm going to pick us to sweep this week. But I do think they're going to be close games. I think Pinkfield is smart enough to not make those stupid mistakes that lead to cap trains and stuff like that. So I think it'll be close games, but I think we're able to pull off another sweep.
Because I think you're being biased. Of course, you're being biased. I'm going to say the exact opposite. I'm going to say Bank of America. No, man, I'm going to say split. I like both teams. Capu King Cruel against Chandra Macon Bacon. It's another strong test that I think Bank of America should be able to handle. But at the same time, Bank of America's offense. Actually, no, you're right. I think I'm going to go sweep. Just looking at it again. Yeah, I'll go Bank of America sweep. You're right. You're not biased. You're just factually correct. I forgot the team.
Now I have to pick the split, I guess.
You don't have to.
That's what's actually gonna happen. Is it's gonna split. So.
All right. Well, maybe Cap, you can put it up in the Pinkfield Isotopes locker room that nobody picked them to sweep. And they can use that as motivation, but I think we'll still sweep. People. So then we've got Legends of Split and Temple versus the Krusty Grabs. This one is I I mean, I feel like Krusty Krab struggled a little bit, but they did pull off a win. LST had a close matchup that they couldn't quite pull it off. I think. I mean, I think this one's going to be a really good matchup. I think the Legend of the Splitting Temple are going to stay true to their name, and it's going to be a split. But I think LST rebounds strong and shows that they are legit.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, I think
But
it's
I
gonna
don't
smash
agree. I don't agree with this. I can see a split happening, but I'm gonna go like one of the other sweep. You have two teams with good offenses and kind of decent defense. Oh, the fuck? Oh, if I had to pick a defense that I prefer Anthony Davis and Turd Ferguson, and I'm gonna go Krusty Krab sweep. I think LST is gonna get swept again.
Hot takes from Active.
Yeah, I agree with
All
that.
right.
Krusty Krab.
So now
Hot
we've
take.
got the Miami Dolphins versus Bohemian Capsody. I mean, the thing here is the Dolphins are the better mechanical team, like raw talent and stuff. But BCC has been playing pretty well, but also Active bad. So I'm gonna call a Dolphin sweep.
I'm also gonna call Dolphin sweep, just based on the fact that Active wants me to say the opposite of that, or at least not Dolphin sweep. So I'm gonna say Dolphin sweep.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the team is good. I'm not counting a split out by any means.
Okay,
But Dolphins
all right.
sweep teams most
That's
likely.
true. They might be able to, like, the rest of the team might be honestly be able to carry Active to a split, but yeah, I definitely I don't see it happening in the near future. So yeah.
You
Dolphin
think I'm
sweep.
that heavy?
Yep.
I think I'm that heavy.
Anyway,
I
so
do.
Active, what's your take on this?
Yeah, fuck off. You know what? Here's what I think, right? I agree. It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a close game. Two close games. I want us to not get swept, but at the same time, I do think that Miami Dolphins are really good enough for them to not get swept. I'm gonna call a split. I'm gonna go in the middle, split, because
No
I
faith.
think we should be able to do well on at least one of these maps. I don't know which ones, because in scrims we're either like in alternating days of scrims we're good on one map and then we suck on the other one, and then the next day we suck on the map that we were good at last night. We're good. We're definitely good. I feel confident.
So what
Yep.
you're
Don't
saying
ruin-
is that you're very inconsistent, and that is even
That's-
more
I think
reason
he's
it's
saying
going to
that
be a sweep
they
in
might
the opposite direction.
Look,
I think
man,
he's saying
I've
they
got
might
a
luck
minors
into a win
player as
by
my old
happening
partner.
to play well.
I've got a minors
Mhm.
player.
Anyway,
I've got a minors player as my old partner. I can't go wrong.
Sure.
Well, you
Rick
absolutely
got
can.
called
Anyway,
up.
so then we've got
Got
Super
called
Monkey
up.
Balls versus We the People. I mean, I feel like Super Monkey Balls played okay week one, and then they upgraded their A team, and We the People did not play well week one. And you know,
This feel
maybe their
unfortunate.
chemistry works better, but I really feel like this is a Monkey Ball sweep, and I don't think it's going to be
This is like-
close.
This is like Katie joining the Warriors and then playing the team that he left. It's funny. The Super Monkey Balls takes Jerry from We the People and then they play him the very next week. Just takes their best offender and then just comes back to. I think this is the most popular pick in the Survivor thing. Super Monkey Balls were picked by 7 people to win. So a lot of the community thinks that this should be an easy sweep for Super Monkey Balls, and I tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
Sweep.
I mean, Ghost, if you got anything to add to that.
I don't. I agree with it.
Yeah,
with all
it's-
that, I think it's going to be a blowout. Honestly.
It does seem like one of the more straightforward matchups this week. I'd
I'll
love to
just
see
be wrong.
We the People prove us wrong. I just don't think they're going to.
Watch us be wrong.
All right, so then we've got Question marks versus the handoff god. Um, both these teams I think played okay week one. Handoff God managed to get a win though. But I think this one's going to end up being a split as well. I think question marks comes back firing after getting swept week one, but I think that they are still a good team, and I think that they'll be able to show that and get the split. But handoff God is also good, so you never know. But I'm calling a split.
All teams are good. All teams are bad. The only team that's actually bad is my team because active bad. So this is why I'm going to say a
not
split.
on Tag Pro League? Why is this game not on Tag Pro League?
What do you mean it is?
No, it's not. All the other ones are on the schedule for Tag Pro League, and that one's not.
Oh, is it not?
Well, if it's
No.
not on the, you mean for the
Oh,
upcoming
so
week?
then we technically can't be wrong.
Yeah,
There's no
week 2
game.
schedule. It's not there.
Oh well, I'll yell it. I'll ask Poet to add that if
I
it's
can
not
add it.
there, or Active can
Yeah, if
add
it's
it.
not there, I can add it.
I don't know if I have those privileges yet to add games to the
I
schedule.
think you
I should,
should.
but I tried to do it last season and it didn't work.
Don't you do the service records? Surely you.
I added
you
the
do.
service
You
records,
have-
and then I tried to change something with the
Oh,
schedule
you're
and
right.
it didn't
The
work.
game's not in there.
Like I
Oh,
can
shit,
click on the
why-
schedule.
all my
Wait.
service records to like good things.
Oh wait, week 2. What's the matchup
So
again?
weird. It's the one. Every
Question
other
marks.
week has 6 games, except for that one.
Question marks versus who?
The handoff
Hand
guy.
of God. All right. Yeah, I see. I can put it in, but I can't click the plus button. It's grayed out.
That one I got when this is
What
over.
are you even on the CRC for if you can't do that?
I mean, this is not my fault. I just don't have the permissions. Anyway, I'm here to update the
Yeah.
service records. That was my whole promise.
Yeah,
and
my
I did
promise.
that. I'm also, probably going to get those public voting approval forms for the trades up soon.
Oh, no,
So-
please.
And then you can go shout at
Oh,
Active about why he voted
don't.
wrong, even though I think we voted the same.
Dude,
But anyway,
dude, the amount of people who will DM me saying, "Why the hell did you approve this trade?" And I'm
Yep.
just gonna say the same thing. If they want to trade. I don't care. Do whatever you want.
but anyway,
Also, don't fucking DM me just because something went wrong. I swear to God, this is a PSA. If you want me to respond to you, don't DM me 5 times in 1 minute saying, "Why is this an issue? Why is this an issue? Why?" Just say it once.
and
I will
coming
get to
next
you
week,
when
the
I
stream will
can.
be on a delay, so I can bleep out Active in real time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why
Anyway,
you find the need to DM
so,
me so many times
So moving
in
on,
1 minute. Like,
we've got some
Thanks for the
PG
notes,
matches
Active.
to preview.
Next
So,
time I have something going wrong, I'm gonna DM you 5 times about it.
Yep.
no,
So,
it tilts me
yeah.
so much when they do that.
That's
like
why I'm gonna do it.
I get
For
it.
anybody wondering,
I
this is
heard
when
it
I
the first
normally cut
time.
off
I
of the
read it the first
podcast when I do it recorded. But
Oh, did you say you're gonna have the stream on a delay so you can bleep out all my
next
cursing?
week, so I can bleep you
Next
out.
week,
I
yeah.
might, yeah.
All right.
Active, is your
Fucking
hearing
great,
on a
dude.
delay?
Oh boy.
Like, I feel like the conversations that you bring up always happen like 5 minutes after they've happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something comes
feel
up,
like that's
and then we
true.
continue on,
And
and
then
then
we
Active's
and then we
like,
continue
actually,
on,
I'm
and then
really
Active's
mad
like,
about
wait,
that
wait,
thing we talked
did
about.
you say that? Wait, yeah,
Anyway.
wait. Did you bring up a delay?
So for B team,
Look, man.
we've got Handoff God versus question marks B.
Wait, did we start the podcast?
It's not on there for that one
I'm
either,
really
by the
lost.
way.
I think Handoff God. I think both these teams do the same they did week 1. I think Handoff God takes 2 out of 3. But I think that the question marks keeps it close again, and I think that this time their win is a little bit more substantial. But I think the Handoff God is just a really good team, and I think the question marks are just getting two tough teams right out of the bat here. Because they are a good team, but I think that the Handoff God is strong enough to keep them at bay for another week.
I think I need to go to bed, so I will agree with that. And I don't feel
That's-
like looking at
That's some pretty solid
Yeah,
reasoning.
any other sort of factual.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't care about B team at all
Wow.
anymore. I'm sorry.
You know, it'd be really nice
I know.
Hey,
with some
so
I'm a
B-team
CRC
for
vibes.
those of you
member.
listening right now, Active is up for re-election soon.
Oh, I am. Fuck. Oh no.
And I care
Oh, I
about
am
all you
after
B
this
teamers
season.
because I am one of you. So if it comes down to between the two of us, just keep that in mind.
Wait. I'm also one of you. Wait.
Yeah, I
There's only
know.
one. We must. We
And,
must
No, you're
riot
not
and
gonna
revolt
fucking
against this
join forces.
A-team trash.
Team trash.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So then, We the People versus Super Monkey Ball's B team. I think is a little bit more interesting of a matchup. We've got a couple people going up against their old teams. We the People got totally swept last week, but then they made some trades, and I'm not sure what to think of this, but I'm gonna take We the People 2 out of 3.
Honestly,
Oh wow.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we the people are gonna be either swept or take 1 out of 3. I think
Yeah,
the
I think
trades
Super Monkey
benefited
Balls
them,
take
but
two.
I don't think it's enough to
I could
push them over
I
the
could
edge.
see the 1 out of 3 happening. I don't think they're gonna
Yeah.
get swept after that trade happened.
I
But
think
I'm
they
gonna
Yeah, I
will.
think
I'm gonna
Super
be
Monkey
bold
Balls
and take them 2 out of 3.
Nah, got 1 out of 3 for Weird People. I think Super Monkey Balls takes 2 out of them.
All right, then we've got BCC versus the Dolphins. I think this is two of the top 4 teams on both A
It's a
and
marquee
B
matchup.
playing each other.
TBH.
It's going to be a really good one to watch. BCC managed to be undefeated. The Dolphins, not quite, but they looked stronger in their wins. It's going to be really, really close. I'm going to take BCC 2 out of 3. I think that they take one game pretty strongly, and that the other two are both really close. But they split those other two, giving BCC 2 out of 3.
I'll agree with that. I want us to sweep, but I also am not confident that's going to happen. So I'm going to go 2 out of 3 for BCC.
I'm going BCC get swept.
Yikes!
Oof.
Yeah.
Rooting against your own team.
Imagine.
Yeah.
SMH
He did
my
the
head
same thing.
active.
I don't care.
Imagine rooting against your own
That's
team.
on him.
I didn't pick against my
I
team. Anyway.
Look, man. I saw their week 1 game against We the People. Like, they couldn't get a reset to save their life. They struggled to get resets like consistently. On Moonbase, it was very clear that they couldn't get returns. Like I would see like Gilly or Feels like on the flag tile waiting for the cap, like waiting for the return for cap, but we could not get the return, and it happened like 3 or 4 times. So
I also
like
remember
my
seeing that.
actual thing. Yeah, my actual thing is I think Miami wins 2 out of 3. Like I legitimately think Miami will take 2 out of 3. I think Aster, Second Skin, Bird Reynolds, Catalyst, Bomb Squad. I think it'll be close, but I think Miami takes 2 out of 3.
Yeah, definitely a top matchup of the week. So then
Yeah,
we've got
I guess
Krusty
so.
Grabs versus Legends of the Splitting Temple. And
Krusty grabs 2 out of 3.
That's bold.
that is bold.
Oh, is that not the prediction I was supposed to make?
I
don't
mean,
know.
you can
I'm
make
not
whatever
even looking
prediction
at
you
the
want.
team.
I don't think it's a
No,
bad
you can
prediction.
make
I
any
do think
prediction
Krusty
you want.
Grabs has a solid roster. I'm going to say LST sweep, which is
Yeah, the
also, I
reason
think,
why
a
I
slightly
said that
bold
was
prediction.
bold
But
is because that this was the most popular pick of the B Team Survivor, where 5 people picked Legend of the Splitting Temple against Krusty Grabs.
Well, 5
So
people are going to
I
be
think,
wrong.
yeah, I mean, I think it's just more like they just don't think Krusty Grab is that good, especially because they don't really have a known offender. Naga's on defense. Like they don't have a known player like that could really turn the tide. Meanwhile, LST has Lamatron, Victor Messi, Potato Chip. So that's already 3 players that you know are good enough for the B team level, going up against Krusty Grabs. But at the same time, Krusty Grabs won a game against the Handoff God, and I thought the Handoff God was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean
So
the cross the
I'm
grabs do have XYZs, who I think is a really solid defender, played well for Nips last season, and I think Borges, when he's
an
on offense,
offender.
is also good. If he's on D, he's also good there. Corinth has some great mechs, but yeah, I mean it'll be some good games, but I think LST takes the sweep personally.
Yeah, I think LSD sweeps.
All right, fine. LST 2 out of 3.
No,
You've
don't
convinced
change
me.
your prediction just
No,
because
you've
we said
convinced me.
it.
I actually looked at the lineups after you guys said something, and yeah, LST 2 out of 3, I think, with the possibility of a sweep, and also the possibility of LST 1 out of 3, and also the possibility of
It's,
LST getting swept.
that's
So,
how B team works.
Oh,
yep,
that's such a good covering your bases option.
Yeah.
anything can
You just
happen,
picked everyone,
but you never know.
Yeah.
and you picked everything.
Yep,
Everything
can't
could happen,
lose.
and you
All
chose
right,
the
so
option that had everything.
then we have the Isotopes. The Pinkfield Isotopes are taking on the Bank of Americaps on B team, and I mean I think Pinkfield looked pretty solid in their games, and they've got a pretty solid roster as well. Um, Homer J played really well. Forbes really solid on D. Ferret showed up. I do think that my team is pretty good though, so I'm going to take us for 2 out of 3, and we'll see how that goes. But I think we're pretty solid. I think we can take them for 2 out of 3 games.
Classic bias. Classic
It's
bias.
class.
You've
I think
gotta.
it's gonna be Pingfield for 2 out of 3, but I also think it go the other way. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep, but
What the
I think
fuck?
no. I'm saying I'm saying I don't think one of the teams is gonna sweep, but I think that it's gonna be a split one way or the other. I think
Yeah. Goes with the strong predictions here that games will not be
yeah,
sweeps.
they will not be sweeps. I think that is actually
Um,
like statistically that's a pretty good.
Pretty good
It's
likelihood. Yeah.
it's still considered like a well. No, I think that like that's a common prediction, right? Is that
Yeah.
someone's gonna sweep,
Well, it's a common
but you don't
prediction.
generally.
It doesn't actually play out most of the time though, on B
That's
team at
true.
least.
That's true. Okay, well in that case,
I
Pinkfield
thought.
sweep. How about that? Do you like that better? Is that what
I
made you
mean,
happy?
There we go. Done it.
sure, why not?
Okay.
Here's my thoughts on this thing. You have two teams with solid offenses. Slobber My Knob and Jelly Rat, pretty good. Homer J and Ferret, they've ended up to be pretty good. You have defenses. You have You have Cooler and Hell Yeah against Porps and JH. I'm taking Porps and JH every time. I'm sorry. In my opinion, I feel like Porps and JH are way better defense. And then, if you want to focus on the depth, you have Sorry I Suck, Adam 1, and Oink Oink for Pinkfield. You have 18 and you, I think, for Bank of America. Am I missing anyone?
Uh,
You, Smiley Biggs, Hell Yeah, Cooler, Jelly Rat, Flower My Knob. And Nas, right?
no, Nas is on a different
Do
team.
you have Nas?
Nas on a different team.
Shit. I think I've gotten it. But yeah, I actually prefer your depth compared to Pinkfield's depth. So I'm gonna say Pinkfield wins 2 out of 3. Yeah, I think Pinkfield wins 2 out of 3 against you guys.
Wow, he's taking my predictions.
Like- What the? You said Pinkfield sweep.
Yeah, after I got bullied into it because I apparently made bold predictions.
No, bullied is a bit of a stretch. He basically
Smalley
said
bullied me.
something and then he could you.
I did
Alright,
no such
I'll
thing.
go with that. Smalley.
I feel bullied, so that's what happened.
I feel bullied every time you say active bad. You don't
Active,
see
very
things
bad.
like
Statement of fact.
Active,
Anyway, so
terrible.
we'll finish up with our predictions. We've got Manipulation Station versus LBT on B team. I mean, I feel like
I think it's gonna be the Nips.
I mean, the Nips, I think, had a little bit of a struggle week one, but they tend to get better. Whereas LBT had a little bit of a struggle, and they tend to keep struggling when they're struggling. So I'm gonna take the Nips 2 out of 3. Yeah.
LVT 2 out of 3. A Dog does not do well on Dallas. Logi meh on Dallas. I'm gonna go with the Dallas advantage for LBT here. 2 out of 3.
All right.
No, LBT sweep because I'm an idiot and I
Wow.
like to go crazy. LBT
Nice.
I wish I
LBT
could play on
sweeps
Dallas.
manipulates.
Do we play in Dallas this week, Active?
You do
Oh,
not
no, we
think...
split.
You're
We do
Central, right?
we do
Yeah,
Chicago
no,
Dallas
no.
split because I'm
You
on
do
a
Chicago.
bad team. That's right. My bad. I forgot.
You know, having two podcasts on the same team might not have been a good idea. We probably
Whose fault was
I
that?
gotta get
Actually,
traded.
let's see. You guys
Not
are
me.
you
I
guys
was
are a
away.
Central team playing a
I'm
Toronto
pretty
team,
sure we
so I think it's
play-
all Chicago actually.
Again?
I think it's all Chicago.
I was
Yeah.
told
you-
only the first week was all Chicago. Everything else is Chicago Dallas split. Was I trolled?
Wait, who did you
Uh,
play
I think
week
you
1?
did. We played with the people who are New York
I think I got trolled.
last week.
I do think
I think you did get
unless you
trolled
play,
because
I mean,
Dallas Chicago is like you only play all Dallas if you play a Western team. Everything
Yeah.
else you've got to play Chicago.
well, but
at
he's
least
expected.
once a
What he
week.
wants is just the Chicago Dallas split. He's fine with a little bit of Chicago.
I
He
was
just
told
doesn't want
Chicago
all
Dallas.
Chicago.
Oh yeah. Do we play? Actually, now I have to check. Do we play? I think we don't play any Central team. VT who's West Coast.
Let's see. When you play
You had a
Nibs,
fucking
there's
luck.
Chicago. So you'll have a split week 3.
But everything else is on Chicago. Yeah, I've been trolled.
Then it's a Chicago
Got
week
New
4.
York. We the people in New York.
Yeah.
Week
People monkey balls
5
Toronto.
is
It's
everything else
fine.
is Chicago.
week 5 is
I'm
all
got
Dallas
too
because
much
you're
to-
playing LBT.
Oh, thank God.
That's
Week
it.
6
That's
is
the
going to
only
be
one.
Dallas Chicago split, and week 7 you play the Krusty Grabs. They are Atlanta, which I think is a Dallas Chicago split. It might be all Dallas.
Chicago.
I
I think
don't
it might
think
be Chicago.
I don't think
right?
it was Chicago.
Oh no, we changed it, right? We changed
It
it.
used to be an
Changed it,
Atlanta
so
Dallas
that is-
split. So I think it's either all Dallas or
And
a
now
split. But you'll definitely have some
Now we
Dallas
can
that
check
week.
it out.
Yeah,
There you go. Atlanta Central.
Oh, view server splits here. Look at that.
Atlanta Central. Oh, that's full Dallas. You're right. We got
Yeah.
it. Full Dallas.
So you got 2
Atlanta
weeks. You've
Central,
got
full
2 full
Dallas.
weeks of Dallas there for you.
Wow, huge.
Central Toronto is Chicago Dallas. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Should
Yeah.
we-
So every other week you're playing. No, because if I think the handoff god's also New York, and then Super Monkey Balls is Toronto, so you play Chicago. Yeah. So you only after last week you only have to play New York, full Chicago just one more week. So,
Okay.
Congrats.
Then it's this
Done
week.
it. No,
All right.
this
You have
week
this
you
week in week
play-
4. You play
this week you-
Chicago.
So 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
Miami's New York? I thought Miami was Toronto.
Miami B
They're not
team
Toronto?
is Toronto a split?
Toronto's the Chicago Dallas split.
Oh, interesting.
It's only New York that's a full Chicago. Toronto, Chicago, Dallas.
Interesting. Should we do a trivia or not?
I did not
we
have a
can-
trivia ready.
I don't have
I
one
can make
prepared,
it up on
so
the
it's
spot.
all you.
That's what I normally do.
sure.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. So Active liked to complain about offenders who grab too much. So we're gonna
Mhm.
look at last season stats. Who were the top 3 grabbers last season? You get 1 point for each of them.
Top
You can go-
3
you can go for it.
grabbers last season. A team or B team?
A team.
A team. Top
It's
3
over.
grabbers. Ugh. God, that's so bad. I feel like I don't even know who played offense, but I feel like maybe I think Bergie had a lot of grabs, but I don't know if he was top. Let's go with I don't know. How many are we just doing top 3? Is that what
Yeah,
you
they're
said?
the top 3, and then you can guess like 3 or 4,
And you get
and you get 1 point for
okay.
each one that you got.
I think we just guessed 3. I think that's
Alright.
fair.
Yep.
So I'm gonna guess Bergie. I'm gonna guess who was it was a team He had a team named after cyclist. I'm gonna guess cyclist, and I'm gonna guess. Let's go King Zion.
All right. Well,
Those are three people that I remember from last season
so
playing
active
offense.
now has to guess 3.
Well, definitely Zeus or Cyclist was one of them. I'm gonna go risky. I'm gonna get Irony for another one. I think he was Zeus's partner, but I think he was either top 5 or top 3 in grabs along with Zeus. Just like they grabbed a lot on that team. And then the other one, I'm gonna go Kool-Aid.
All right. So active
So,
got 2 out of 3,
Zeus.
and
There.
Rip.
Ghost got 1 out of 3.
I got 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you both got Zeus, who
It was
was
Zeus
in
and
3rd
Kool-Aid?
with 470 grabs. Kool-Aid was 2nd with 483 grabs, and
It was Espo, wasn't
Espeluznante
it?
was number 1
Oh, I
with
knew it.
496
I
grabs.
forgot about that.
I couldn't remember if he played last season or not,
Really,
but I know
really
he's
unfortunate
Was Irony
that
top
he,
5?
grabs.
Irony was down at like 12th or 15th or something. Bergie was around 10th, and King Zion was a couple higher than him.
Dang.
Ah. Yay! I won.
So then for round 2,
Oh, more.
who were the players with a full 280 minutes on a team that had the fewest grabs?
Ooh.
It's gonna
Well,
be
it has to be
right?
defenders.
Not that
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Do you want to go first, active, or do you want me to go
Active,
first?
I think active should go first this round since you went
Okay.
second last
Yeah, I'll
round.
go first. You went
I already
first last
I already
time.
have my 3 guesses.
I don't because I don't remember. So you want to go with basically defenders who had the least amount of grabs.
Yeah.
So I know I didn't. I know Jarvis didn't. So now I have to go down the list. Anthony Davis and Hype. I'll pick Anthony Davis for one of them. Another one would be who were the defenders on LBT? I forgot them last season.
Chucky and
Was
El
El
Sacco,
Sacco
right?
one of them? Oh, El
I don't
Sacco.
remember.
Another one. El Sacco. Oh no, did El Sacco play full minutes? Yeah, I think he did. El Sacco, Anthony Davis, and come on, let me think. I don't remember any team from last season. Rig. Okay, so I have Rig, Anthony Davis, El Sacco.
All right,
Boom. Those are my 3.
Ghost, what you got?
Wait, no! Fuck! Let me change it.
Oh,
no!
You can't change it. Well, I
No!
know Homie was one of them, so I'm gonna go with Homie.
No!
I don't know if Anthony Davis was up there. I'm gonna go Homie. I'm gonna go Maradona because I know he's insane, and I'm gonna go with. We'll go with Chucky. I don't
Hold
think
up.
Chucky
We're
was up
picking.
there.
We're
But
picking.
All right,
No.
so you
We're picking the players
you
that
are
had the least amount of grabs,
yeah
right?
you are tied now because Ghost got 2 out
Heck
of
yeah.
3 with
Fuck!
Homie and Maradona. And active got Anthony Davis was there. Homie
dang it!
Homie had
Look
62
at that, I was
grabs with full minutes. Maradona had 100 and
I
Anthony
should've
Davis
gone
had
Homie
101.
too, dude.
Chucky and El Sacco, yeah, you were both close on those ones. They had 109 and 110 respectively. El
Damn
Sacco,
it,
thought
dude.
El Sacco had 260 minutes rather than 280.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I
Ah,
thought
damn
he
it!
missed the game.
But he still
I-
had
I don't.
more grabs.
I don't remember
So
him
it
missing
wasn't
the game.
relevant.
Yeah.
Doodle wire, garbage team, garbage A team.
Boy.
God, I remembered the Rig right after
Oh,
I said
boy.
Rig, and I fucking
Oh
Panic.
boy, he's a robot.
He's a robot.
Do the robot.
me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh wait, it's back.
there we go.
You're good. Thought I was getting hacked for a second.
Oh, God, Ghost, we're so close here. Come on, we're tied. Let's go. Congrats on. Wait, who'd you pick? Maradona, right?
Maradona and
You picked
Homie, yeah.
Homie, Maradona, Damn, dude. I'm surprised they got Anthony Davis.
Were they on the same team? I don't even remember.
No, Homie was on We the People, and Maradona was on Incrediballs.
That's right.
For me, I picked Rig, who was Homie's partner on We the People, and
Mm,
Anthony Davis was on the Master Boaters.
All
Hype
right.
as a partner. Right?
So now we're going to do
Okay.
the same
Tiebreak.
thing on B team. I'm going to be looking at grabs per minute for players over 200 minutes. And then if you're still tied after that, then I'll come up with some tiebreaker.
Dude, it's over for me. I have no
Wait,
clue
so
about
what is it? What are we looking for?
Top 3 in grabs on B team.
Top
But
3
he's
or
going
bottom
by
3?
grabs per minute.
Top 3 first.
Okay.
Then,
You're going
then
by
bottom 3.
grabs per minute or grabs?
Grabs per minute, but only people over 200 minutes. So, like, for example, nobody's actually in the top 3, but Optic Ball only played 10 minutes, but they had 1.5 grabs per minute. So they're, like,
Gotcha.
close.
So
But
so over 200 minutes, top of grabs per minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I have to go first.
Can I look at the rosters?
And you
I-
said
you
B
can
team,
pull
right?
up the rosters on the info hub.
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
Right
yeah,
now.
that's
that's
why
fine.
that's why I have
legitimately
it.
don't remember.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Tinderfella because I know he grabs just like a ridiculous amount. I'm also gonna go with I'm gonna go with Steez because he also grabs a ridiculous amount, and I'm gonna go with uh, uh, J Swan for insane grabs.
All right. Active, what you got?
Who are your 3, Ghost?
It was J Swan, Tinder, and Steez.
Here's mine. Aster, Tinder, and T-Swift.
So, Ghost has taken the lead.
Heck yes.
The top 3 were J-Swan, who had 1.75 grabs per minute, so almost a full 2 grabs per
Insane.
minute. Tinder at 1.63, and Flaccid Trip
Okay.
at number 3 with
Oh, it's
1.58,
flaccid.
closely followed by Atomic Storm and Breezy.
Where was
That was
Steez
way
at?
off.
Steez was like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ninth among qualifying players.
What were his grabs per minute though? I mean,
1.43.
okay, quite a bit lower than the
God, I was
next
way
people.
off. Holy shit.
Who did you say? T Swift? What was T
Yeah,
Swift
T
at?
Swift was down like 20th. And who
Oof.
was the other
I
one
had
that you said?
Aster as well.
Yeah,
Aster.
Aster was not a very grabby boy. He had a really good cap rate,
Yeah.
but
Shit.
yeah.
Whoops.
So then, the lowest grabs per minute among players who played at least 200 minutes.
Well, I know one of them because I played with him.
Well, okay, that helps me a lot more.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
But I don't know which. Yeah, okay. Now I have to fucking find you on the rosters. There we go. Oh no, there's 2 of them. Which one do I think it is? I don't know which one it would be. All right. I have to go first now, right? I'm gonna assume that Ghostman, is fucking either psychic or great. I'm gonna go Great Bambino. Okay, that's 1. The second one, I'm gonna go with. Shit, the problem is I don't know if these players played 200 or more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. Soj King. Whatever. Soj King. Great Bambino. And. Ah, dude, it's so difficult because I
It
want
is.
to pick someone from Do the Wire, but I don't know which of these players had more than 200 minutes because they're all garbage. I don't know who was a starter.
True.
I don't know
But
who was a starter on this team.
imagine thinking that we
I'm
had
gonna go-
starters.
That's the issue. I don't know who's your depth or who wouldn't have more than 200. my guess would have been you played O, right? I'm gonna go with Trapson. No, yeah, fine, fuck. Trapson, Soj, and Great Bambino.
All right,
Okay.
Ghost, who you got?
I'm gonna go with definitely Great Bambino.
Okay, I got that one already.
I'm gonna go with. I don't know if Soj was. So I'm gonna go Great Bambino. I'm gonna go Unit 01. And I'm gonna go Conman.
All right.
I
Well,
think he got.
you
I think
both
he
got
Unit.
two.
Think.
There is no need for,
Oh
for
my God.
overtime. So Ghost is one. The top three were Great Bambino was the lowest. He grabbed 0.28 times per minute.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Then there
it
was
yeah.
Unit 01, who had 0.33.
Heck yeah.
I was Unit. Yeah.
And then Soj King, who had 0.43.
I was right. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Conman
cool.
was
That's really
just a little bit lower, 0.44. So that was really close
Wow.
there.
5.1. 0.01.
Trapson, on the other hand,
Trapson grabbed a lot.
he had
He
0.64.
did?
Like,
Yeah.
that's like 30th.
I want to say he had more grabs than I did.
He did,
And I played basically offense last season.
I believe. Yeah, he did.
Christ. Sucks.
What were the? I want to look. Okay, let me actually pull up the stats now because I want to see if I had more caps than him.
Probably. I mean,
All right.
it was hard
He
to cap
won.
on
Cool.
Do the Wire B team. Just gonna be honest with you. There.
Yeah, I thought they just couldn't grab.
Oh yeah, I had way more caps than him.
Yeah, because he grabbed more, but it was hard to cap on that team.
Yeah. So he had.
The second,
Did he grab more, or did he just grab more per minute? You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Let me see. So
it
I
would be a little
had
bit closer.
100. I had
a
156 grabs, and he had 150 grabs. So I actually had 6 more grabs than him, but I had
Dude.
I had 12 more caps than him.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that. If you look at B Do the Wire, we just didn't cap much in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that.
Damn it, I totally forgot about Unit. As soon as he said Unit, I'm like, oh wait, they had like the lowest grab per minute ratio.
Yeah.
Because Randy never showed up, and he was like their best grabber. And after, dude, I did team stats. How did I fucking forget about it?
Yeah, but no.
I had the advantage here.
So
Because it was B team, and you don't care about B team, remember?
Oh yeah.
I
remember
did
that.
beat team stats. I that was the one thing I knew about BAP. They did not have good. They didn't grab a lot. That was like the one thing I said every time.
Well, you obviously didn't care about it. But
I totally forgot about it. Oh, I'm so mad I lost by 1, dude. It was the rig homie thing. No! I said the wrong D, partner.
That's rough, man.
No. I never win a trivia. Not fair. I want a question. Give me a question. I want to do over.
Okay,
give me a
here's
do-over.
This is where
here's your
Active cries
question.
for 30
Here's your
minutes.
question, Active. Who had more caps? Titan Blue on B team in season 18, or Do the Wire on B team as a team in season 20?
Oh, dude, that's actually he broke my record, dude. The Titan had more than 76 caps. I think he had like 100 or something. Did he count? I'm gonna go, yeah. Titan had more caps than you as a team.
You are wrong. Titan Blue only had 89 caps, whereas we as a team had a full 90.
Huge.
I won!
We had one more cap than Titan Blue
He
did.
can't even get that question right. Ooh, I hate to see it.
I don't know, dude. If he asked it, I thought that it was a thing. By
No.
1?
by one.
God, that's hot. That's so bad, dude.
I know.
Just same
You
number of
have no
points that
idea
you
that-
lose trivia by every week.
Uh,
1.
all right. Well, GG's. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm gonna stop the stream now.